All right, y'all, let's get this party started. It is great to be with you guys today, and I hope this finds you well and positive and uplifted. And if that's not the case, then I hope this message today can push you in that direction in some sort of way. And what that message is going to entail today is talking about repurposing our skill sets depending on the situation at hand. And of course, this has relevance to right now. And I'm seeing a bunch of people doing this stuff, especially in my realm of strength and conditioning and physical wellness. So many people are kind of adapting with the times, and it is so cool to see, and it's inspiring me to get a little bit more creative in my realm as well. So I wanted to give my own 2 cents on that whole thing today, and not just when it comes to physical wellness or fitness, but in all realms and all occupations, and just offer up some different ideas for you guys. So again, I started to kind of think about this because I am a strength and conditioning coach, and a lot of what I do is in the gym in one-to-one or one-on-one basis or group settings, but actually in person and having those different interactions with people in the gym. But now that stuff is being taken away from a lot of people, whether you're a gym owner or you work at a gym or you're a strength and conditioning coach in the collegiate setting or tactical setting. That stuff's not available right now. So a lot of the stuff is now going online, going virtual, whether it's Zoom calls or FaceTime or programming online, and the adaptability is there. And it was almost in an instant, right? Like you saw people and they address the situation at hand. Okay, now I can't control X, Y, and Z, but what can I control? And in this outlet, in this realm, it was going online and doing things virtual. And it was so inspiring to watch. And it kind of reminds me of the book Range, and I don't remember the exact quote, but they talked about repurposing our skill sets or reworking our skill sets, or maybe even dropping some and trying to accumulate some new ones during times like we are in right now. And so my offering today would be this: with this newfound time that we have, how can we be better in our own individual realms? Right? So again, for me, I can program online and still send it out to my people. I can text them the workouts, I can call them, we can FaceTime, we can do this different stuff. And that is still kind of a doable thing when it comes to me personally. But what about other people out there, right? Maybe you are in sales and you go to hospitals or you go to these different businesses and you had these one-on-one meetings with people and this, that, or the other, but right now that's just not an option. So what can I do? Okay, well maybe I can get away from that a little bit and write handwritten letters to all the people that I work with and just say, hey, I'm thinking about you. I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are well. If there's anything that I can do for you, here's my number, here's my email. Hit me up at any time. I got you. Right? So I'm not using the exact skill sets that I usually do on a day-to-day basis, but I can still work around that and let my customers know that I'm thinking about them, right? So maybe that's one option. Or maybe I'm just out of work in general. Maybe, I lost my job. So now I'm in a situation where, damn, what am I going to do? Maybe I have to pick up a new skill set or some new hobbies and teach myself a new trade. So maybe I'm going on YouTube and looking up this different stuff now, teaching myself how to code or to run a YouTube channel or to set up a podcast or whatever. Like, now's the time, because the situation at hand we can't control. So what can we control? We can learn new skills. We can repurpose ourselves to still, find betterment for ourselves and find betterment for others. And, it kind of reminds me again of something I was reading in a book the other day, talking about where this guy lost his job. So he, for him, it was kind of a blessing in disguise. He was okay with his money. His family was good for the time being. So he's like, you know what? I always wanted to be in accounting, and I'm seeing this kind of disconnect between store owners and running their books and whatnot. Maybe I can teach myself to do this stuff and then actually do it and kind of subcontract myself out to all these different grocery stores and whatnot. And that's what he did. So he taught himself this new trade. He has this new business, and now he's off and running. And again, that's just one example, and that's not going to go for everybody, but I think you kind of get the idea with this thing, where when life hands you lemons, you got to make lemonade even if you don't like lemonade, right? Or something along those lines. So maybe this week or maybe today, we can look ourselves in the mirror and say, what can I teach myself that I've always wanted to teach myself? Or what can I do now that I've always wanted to do? Or what do I need to do that I know I need to do, but I haven't taken that step in doing so yet. Or maybe I don't like my job and now I'm only working half time. Okay, what's something else that I could see myself doing in 5 years that's going to set my career up for the next 30 that I'm actually going to be enjoying to do or wanting to do? What can I learn in that setting? Like, that's where our mind needs to go right now, is to adapt to the times, adapt our skill sets. How can we still utilize what skill sets we have for the better, or maybe even learn new ones, or again, depending on your own situation, right? Because there's a lot of people who are still working, they're doing their thing. That's great too. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about us who are kind of in this weird middle ground. We don't really know where to go next. Well, what can we do? We can control our inputs, which is going to be developing new skills or repurposing them to then put them back out into the world and maybe in a new avenue or a different job or whatever. That's what we need to do. That needs to be the focus right now. So some food for thought for us today is to repurpose those skill sets. Again, one last time, rework them, drop them, add new ones, whatever. But let's do that stuff now. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Maybe you just re-hone in on your craft and you get better. So when you do go back to work, you're bigger and better and stronger than ever. And you can hit the ground running. And the options and the opportunities are endless. So let's do that stuff right now. Excuse me. Let's do that stuff right now while we had the time and see where that gets us. And that's what I wanted to share today. That was what was kind of on my heart. And I hope that makes sense. And I hope maybe just one person out there hears this thing. It's going to push them in the right direction and they're off and running. And there you go. Maybe it's a new career or whatever. Let's make that stuff happen. Let's keep inspiring each other, talking, keeping in contact with the people we need to keep in contact with, whatever. But I'm just geeked up right now. So, I hope that made sense. And you guys can take to that as you go throughout the day and throughout this week. So appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And if you need anything, please feel free to hit me up because I'm always game to talk or see where I can help in any way that I can. Okay, so y'all have a fantastic one. Happy Tuesday, March 31st, 2020. God bless you guys. Keep rocking out there. Coach Koo.